Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How's everybody? Welcome to another day of coping with life. I am your host, Scott. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So, first of all, thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And consider helping out the show. You don't have to, but let's get to this week's episode. And it is me living with disabilities and mental health issues and the everyday struggle. So it is more about me and how I continue going. And open up more, and yeah. So it's been my entire life. Every day is struggle, and it's not easy, and it's hard to speak and talk, and yet, there's a lot of things that I am able to do. There's something that I'm not able to do, and that's okay. But, it's a lot effort. Every day is a struggle. And I have my good days, and I have my bad days. And, living with so many issues, dealing with a lot of issues, and I want to be liked. I don't like being hated. I don't like people being mad at me. I don't like being yelled at. And I don't like being blocked. I don't like sometimes I may say something at the wrong time. I do apologize, but at the same time, I'm trying to live the best life I can. Some days are easy, some days are hard. And, it's really hard to express, the difficulties. I'm aware that there's a lot of people out there that are offended about people with disabilities, and that we should not exist. We should be cold and dealt with. And that's CULLED, like you're calling a herd. That's a lot of people that I've dealt with are offended about my life, my lifestyles, the choices that I've made throughout my years, and that has frayed a lot of relationships. And I do the best that I can, and I try and be as positive, and it's not easy. I take pride being able to say that I live alone. I take care of everything in my life, which is something that I've worked really hard for. And there's people that will come in my life and try and take that away and say, well, that's not how things are going to work. And yet, they don't know what I've been through. They don't know what goes on in my daily life. And, that's what their opinions are. And you may have your own opinions, and that's okay. Everybody has them. And, some days are good, some days are bad. And just going through my head, and I want to be open, living with disabilities and mental illnesses, and just, there's a lot of things going against me. There's also a few things going for me. I try and be very uplifting, but in order to uplift, I have to dig through the negative. And so you may hear a lot of negativity throughout today's episode or future episodes, but hopefully I can build a positive message upon that. But with this, it's hard. And, being told, you're not good enough, or, there's a lot of things that I want to achieve in life, and there's, I am a large person, and that's, that's dealing with a lot of health conditions that I have. And I'm trying to get better, but it is what it is, I guess. But being judged before people get to know me, or wonder why I do things a certain way, and it's hard, and I try really to believe in the stuff that I do, but it's the people that are close to me, they understand, and they understand that there's a lot of things that they try not to bring up because it's gonna affect me. And I have the notion, it may affect me, it may offend me, just, don't hold anything back, just be you. And so they do now, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I did ask for it. I did open the gateway because it was needed to be opened. If they're going to talk about their relationships, or their lives, and I want to support them any way that I can. And for somebody who is disabled, had some mental illnesses, it's really hard to not only find a person who wants to bear that burden, but find somebody who is willing to give it a try. And it's not easy. And I'm well aware, I'm being very open, very vulnerable right now, opening up because I don't really talk about this, don't really know how to discuss this, but I want to, because it is one of those things where, when you are in a relationship, or if you're dating and you're trying to build up to, relationship, and, there's a lot of factors, but there's a lot of people who, are okay, but don't be with me if, you're not happy. Don't pity me. That, I'm totally okay with a lot of things, and, I'm one of those people who live the best that I can, and I communicate. I try really hard to communicate. And, don't play mind games with me. Don't hint or there's just be straightforward. And, it is what it is. And I refuse to talk more about, relationship that I've had or of the like. That's just something that I refuse to. But at the same time, I do want to acknowledge that it's not easy. And, it's two people. And, it's hard. It really is. And, I'm one of those people who, I text, I try and always keep an open dialogue and, respect and communicate. But, I will have my good days, my bad days. But, that's a burden for a lot of people. And, it's their choice. Definitely okay with that. But, I've gotten a lot of, denials about because, I'm overweight. I'm missing teeth. There's been a few people out there who's like, well, if you've lost 200 pounds and fixed your teeth, you'd be perfect. Yeah, that, looks go away. If you care about my personality, looks shouldn't matter. But what do I know? That's my opinion. It may be wrong, but looks shouldn't matter. But, to each of their own. And it's like, get to know me. But at the same time, that's just one level of, living with disabilities, being mentally ill, going through everything that I go through, And that's not just, in love life or relationship, but that's also good with friendship as well. I don't got many friends. And the people that I do have, the friends that I do have, they're lifers. There's a couple more that I've known about a year now. But, it's taken me a long time to build a rapport to them. But yet, they are piggybacking off of, a friend of a friend. And so joined their group, and I think I mentioned that earlier in a previous episode. But all of the friends that I have, they've been in my world for years, like decades. And they didn't care what I look like. They cared that I'm intelligent, that they understand that I have issues, and they want to help me. They want to see me succeed and be where I want to be. And I'm going to be honest here. A lot of people who consider me a friend, and they refuse to invite me over, or if they're getting married, I'm not invited to their wedding because they have an issue with me, or there's, to me, there's a few people, and this is, again, my opinion, this is where I am. If I know you for a while, if I consider you an acquaintance, they're your family. If I'm doing anything, you are definitely welcome in my world. I consider you family. And yet, some people have different values, and yet excluded, and because they think people with disabilities need to be shot in the head, or hide them in the corner, or in different ways. And that could be me misinterpreting the situation, but it is what it is. Everybody's different. My mindset is a lot different than others, but the people that I care about, they matter. They matter so much to me. And, it needs to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself in, who you are. And I understand, my education level is very limited. I'm very intelligent, but most of the stuff that I know is not taught in schools. And I'm I don't like being patronized. I don't like being compared to others, in a way, an example. Keep your chin up, because I've seen people date more uglier people than you are. It's like, okay, but that's not me. It's just, and it takes me down a larger depression. And, it is what it is. And, there's a few people that I have pissed off. I've said a few things and have frayed, but they also understood that, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. And, I may be wrong, but I only know what I know. And I will admit when I'm wrong. If it finds out that I am wrong, I will admit it. But don't yell at me. Don't get your opinions across by yelling or screaming, because I don't take kindly to that, and I shut down. And I have mood swings. You know, I may raise my voice here and there. But I don't believe in violence. I don't, but, that is who I am. And, not all friendships are perfect. And there's some friends in my life that, they don't care. And that is, sometimes it's one of those things of, where I belong, where do I fit? I am that puzzle piece that doesn't fit in the puzzle of life. I'm an anomaly. And, that is a bitter pill to swallow. Knowing that a lot of people will judge you based off of first impressions of, a 390-pound person. And yes, normally I say, I'm 400 plus, but I'm 390 now. I'm trying to lose as much weight as I can. But at the same time, I'm 6'5". And when I'm happy, I will crack jokes. I will, try and make everybody laugh. But when I'm down, I give Batman a run for their money. Shout out to a friend who keeps on telling me that. And I have a good support system. But at the same time, living life to the degree of being open and, trying to talk to people and finding words and, it's not easy, and there's a lot of people, it's like, yeah, don't know why, and being mistreated, and it's like, hey, I'm not I'm not contagious, I'm very friendly, but at the same time I do have issues, and not everything do I understand, and I have major trust issues, major trust issues, and it's hard. It really is, because when I trust, when I give somebody all the attention, it's I'm very easily tossed aside, replaced, and when I'm very open, saying that you're going to replace me, and then go, well, if you want, I can ignore you. It's like, yeah, well, if that's your response, that just proves my point more. That, because you know, I'm trying really hard to show you that, I'm willing to lose you by putting everything on the line. But if, if you want me in your life, keep me, it's a revolving door, if you don't want me in your life, there you go. I'm not gonna stop you. That's how I am. But the people that I care about, the people that, I care about everybody here. I care about everybody who's listening to this. And, I wanted to open up more. As a child, I was beaten up a lot. And now, I'm invisible. Because, people just don't want me. And, there was this one person that I actually asked who really, really cared about my personality. And yet they're like, I can't date somebody who looks like Hunchback of Notre Dame. That stung. And so I've now in the mindset that, I gotta live for me. It is. It is. It's, I have to live the best life that I can. And, if people want to be so butthurt that, I'm doing things alone. And, there was a concert that I chose not to go. I had nice seats, paid a pretty penny, but I wanted to go with a good friend of mine who couldn't go, and I treated her badly, I will admit. Not verbally, not physically or there, but, in my mannerisms. And what I mean by that, let me, after they said I verbally said, I'm not going to act like it, but just know that I am very hurt, and I'm going to take this and be very grumpy and snide and rude. And they went, yeah, it's understandable. And yet we go and have a good time, but at times I got grumpy, and now I'm okay with it because it is what it is. And they're like, well, you can go. It's like, I'm not going to a concert alone. Don't like going to things alone. I hate being alone. It's hard. And that's just, when you live a life and I live alone, and I, everybody that I know are in a relationship, or, they have people that they live with or whatnot. And or they have animals, or, other pets. I'm just a boy with a microphone. And it gets really hard. And I get told a lot by people close to me, it's like, oh, just go out there. Just go outside, and it makes things worse. And, I try. And my internet presence, got blocked a few times today, and every time I see the little icon, I'm like, oh, you're blocked. And there's no reason my mind goes rampant. Don't know what I said or what I did, but, my internet presence, there's a lot of people who care about me, and I appreciate that. And there's a lot of people out there who's like, hey, if you're having a problem, talk to me. And, absolutely. But, it's really hard to describe that, you're just alone. And, for the people who think, that's your choice. It's like, no. Because I've put myself out there. I've tried. But I'm not going to force anybody to be with me. I'm not going to force anybody to be in a situation that they don't want to be in. Because everything has to be, good. But it is hard to, live a life being disabled, mentally ill, and knowing that you have nothing to look forward to. I love my music. I play video games. I do so much. But sometimes you lose that drive. And, the strength that I have to keep on going, to find things that I want to do. And the thing that I really want to do right now, I can't. I want to travel more, but that's a health risk for me. And, I'm not going to risk my health. Because, I may do a lot of stupid stuff in my life, but I'm not actually going to risk my health as of right now. Hopefully things settle down and things improve. But, I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody who's listening to this being happy. And, I'm just being honest of where I am in life. And, it's hard being alone. And, I've lived here about 4 years, almost 5, coming up. And I just it's one of those things where I'm proud of how far I've came. And not everything has been perfect, not have everything been ideal. But the thing that I'm most proud of is that I've done almost everything on just the will to survive and improve. And, you know, a lot of people may call me the R word, or stupid. And yet, I doubt that they could walk a day in my shoes. You know? And I had a conversation not too long ago. I posted a photo of me, of a Lego set that I built. And I got a direct message saying, "Oh, look, you're playing with a toy." And they wanted it to be negative, and they wanted to put me down. And I retorted with, "Thank you. It is. And I enjoy it. And I do." And it was a Lego set that the stranger gave me, and I thank them so much. I look at the bonsai tree, and it puts a smile on my face. Because that was something that somebody did for me, and I'm very grateful. And it puts a smile on my face when I feel down. And, you know, the thing that I once enjoyed, you know, I used to like just playing video games or, you know, playing music. Now I don't want to. I'm in that low period of, you know, I don't deserve this. Which I do, because I worked hard. And, you know, people with disabilities, we matter. And that's one of the whole point of this podcast is, you know, breaking down the wall. And, you know, I try really hard to not lean on my disability like a crutch. Because the people who have worse disability than I have, or worse hindrances, I feel that. Excuse me. You know, I feel that so much. And, you know, it's going off of, you know, the way that I live my life. And this podcast, you know, we matter. You know, we're not the scum of the earth. We are human beings. And I would like to be treated like a human being. If you have a problem with me, tell me. You know, I'm very easygoing, and the people who know me and, you know, the people who don't, you know, every day for me is different. And, you know, I may be grumpy because my tooth hurts, or I might be grumpy because my knee hurts. I might be grumpy because I'm alone. And, you know, I'm tired of being told, "Oh, well, you're wrong, because you have these great friends surrounding you, and you're not alone. It's like, yeah, that's a different type. I'm not talking about that. I'm not. There's different levels of things. I can be in a group of 10,000 people and still be alone. I can still be empty. An empty void. But again, this is coming from people who, they probably don't know what it feels like to have nobody, have nothing to look forward to. For me, I actually do have something to look forward to, and that's Saturdays. That's when new episodes of Coping with Life comes out. And I want to keep on building this community, to keep on expanding and trying new things. Some things work, some things don't. Tell people about Coping with Life. And I'm just a guy who has issues, who wants to help people, and I'm also trying to help me at the same time. And I want to build a community, and I want to have it out there that what you may be going through, and I hate to say the disclaimer now, but I'm going to say the disclaimer now. The thing that I say may be exaggerated, may be stretched here and there. Just for the sake of anonymity and safety and well-being. Just know that the story that I say may have a lot of factual facts in it, but I just want that some things may be exaggerated a little bit. Just throwing that out there. But the one thing that I want, I want people understanding that the passion that I have doing this, and I've gotten a few emails from people saying, why do you not edit your episodes? Because I want people to understand my thought process. This is me. This is me being real. This is me living my life. And the pauses, the me trying to be the best that I possibly can. And this is real time. This is me being real. This is me opening up, and how my mind works, the processes that I go through. I talk in circles, and I understand that. And so I don't edit my podcast, because this is the way that I want to conduct it, because it's me being real. This is me just being me. And I've tried my best doing a lot of things, and And I don't have a car. I don't drive. And that's okay. Because that's one thing that, people can use me for. And I get it that, there's just people out there that will never like you and will never appreciate the stuff that you've actually gone through, and will just hate you because of the lies that people have told you. Because there's a lot of lies out there about me. And, there's a lot of things that I know. And situation, I'm an excellent situational reader. But, it's not my place to tell you the truth. If you want it, I'll let you know. But, I am not perfect. But, Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We're going to end it here. This is just an excerpt of living a day in life, coping with life, disabled, mentally ill. And I want to thank all my friends, all my family, all my friends, all of you who's listening. I care about each and every one of you. And if you're not doing well, there's help. There's helplines. Call that. Talk to somebody. You matter. I matter. I don't think I've actually said that in one of these episodes. I call that improvement. I matter. I exist. That actually put a smile on my face. My face is covered in tears, but it's a smile. So I appreciate each and every one of you. This has been another amazing Saturday edition of Coping with Life. I am Scott. Thank you so much. And I bid you adieu. Wow, what another amazing episode. By the way, Scott, you do matter. Just throw that out there. Listening to that episode, you matter. And keep your chin up. Keep your chin up, champ. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed day.